her life. And a longtime lawmaker has some explaining to do. The state representative insists there is nothing fishy about his expenses, even if some of them are for massages. That's right, back massages.
But a watchdog group claims not only is that illegal, there are other questionable expenses. News 13's Alex Tomlin had to track down that lawmaker to get his side of the story.
Dick, Jessica, while New Mexico watchdog sees glaring red flags in Representative Miguel Garcia's expenses, the state rep says he's done nothing wrong. You decide.
The documents are there, the reports are there. We figure somebody should read them.
Jim Scarantino with NewMexicoWatchdog.org says he got quite the read when he started going through South Valley Representative Miguel Garcia's expenses.
Representative Garcia used tax-free campaign funds to pay for massages, spinal adjustments, and wellness items, he calls them.
And that's not all. Scarantino says the 8-term Democrat also charged his campaign for rail runner tickets so he could ride the train up to Santa Fe, only to turn around and charge the state for the same trip.
And then he would charge the taxpayers 55 cents a mile for driving his personal vehicle.
I've been a very transparent, a very open, and very available legislator.
When I caught up with Garcia at his home, he told me his campaign expenses can be explained.
I'm not trying to pull a sneaky over anybody.
Starting with those massages.
I've had 4 back injuries, and during the campaign season, sciatic nerve kicks in, especially from door to door and getting in and out of the car.
He says because the injury flares up while campaigning, the treatment for it is a campaign expense, something Scarantino disputes, citing state law that says campaign cash cannot be used for personal reasons, like medical treatment. So what about those rail runner tickets and gas mileage expenses?
I usually have an extra car that I either come back in, I take the rail runner and I come back in the extra car, or I take the extra car and come back in the rail runner.
I did not find any instance where he's put in for driving one way. The days he bought round-trip rail runner tickets, he put in for round-trip mileage.
Garcia says if the state has an issue with his expenses,
if Legislative Council feels that scenario is not appropriate, I have no problem reimbursing them.
Garcia did tell me that last year the Secretary of State did have him repay his campaign for 2 expenses she felt weren't within the rules. Secretary of State Diana Duran never called me back to comment on this story. Jessica?
Okay, Alex, Scarantino says he could only search records dating back to 2010 because previous Secretary of State Mary Herrera's campaign records for lawmakers were incomplete. Garcia is running for re-election in November.